Okay. Yes. I think we're live here. So, stream here is going to be converting my bridge game. So I've got a bridge game that I wrote in Node.js. And the idea is using the Fenrir library that I wrote over the past few videos to replace Node.js. I don't want to have to use Node.js anymore. I'd like to have my backend for the game in C++. So that's what we're doing. We're converting. Yep, and there you go. We're converting Node.js to C++. So, how do we do that? So this is the bridge game that I currently have. I don't remember. Man, I haven't done this for a while now. Yeah, and I think I need. Okay, there we go. We're on port 46615, but I think I have Node.js forwarding that. I hope I still have Node.js running. Damn. Hold on a second. No. Okay. Okay, let me take a look here at what's going on in 8081 would be the port. I don't recall now if Nginx is running or not. Okay, this is a should have got this ready beforehand. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here we are. Gonna change that to till. So I have a game. We got the front end here. We got the back end, which accepts all of these socket connections and actually does all of the game, runs the actual game. If you're not familiar with this game, it's called Bridge. It's a game where, you know, you start by bidding. Everybody bids, then you go and you play the handout. It's a card game. It's an interesting card game. So I wrote this a while back. It's all written in TypeScript. The back end is Node.js. Front end is using WebGL. And it's a card game. This is it. It's a card game. Right. And I fairly recently added computers that will automatically bid and automatically play. It's not perfect. It needs some work. But there it is. So I don't want to have to run this on Node.js. I want to be able to run this in C++. So I don't have that much time today, but we have enough time to get started. So let's get started on that. So how do we do that? Well, I've got the code here. I don't know how to zoom in on Visual Studio Code. I don't use Visual Studio Code very much. I don't know how to zoom in. I apologize for that. Not going to be looking at this too much though. Here's the code. So we got the front end code. We're not going to have to touch. Well, we will have to touch some of that because it's using socket IO. We're going to just use regular sockets. common code, and then we got the server. So really, we're just converting this to C++. It's not too crazy. Shouldn't be too bad. But we'll see how it goes. This is really going to test Fenrir. Maybe I've got major problems in Fenrir that I didn't realize, and this will show that. So let's get started. So first, let's get the actual server running. So I've got in here a pre-make file that I'm going to use to create my project. We don't want this to be a windowed app. I believe this is a console app. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to check that. C++ 17, character set, Unicode. I don't think I need to actually do this. I don't think I need to do this. Shader model and all that. I don't need to do any of this. Target directory, okay. Files, yes. I mean, there's no harm in including that, but I don't really need that. Links, I'm not going to link to anything, so I don't need that. I don't need to define anything. Force includes, I'm not going to do any of those either. Yeah, I don't need this stuff, so I'm just going to leave this stuff alone. Okay, I think that's it. I don't think I need to say Unicode character set. I don't think I need to say that. I'm gonna take that out. Okay, so the reason I use pre-make is because it's very nice. So what I can do if I go to, I can just say pre-make 2019 pre-make 5 2019. If I could type it properly. Yeah. So there it is. And it will generate the solution files for me, so I don't have to deal with that. And the nice thing about that is in Git, I don't have to have solution files or anything, because you don't want to have to do that. I can just have my pre-make file, and on any machine I can just run pre-make, generates the solution files for me. And I'm good to go. So here's the solution file. We're going to open that up. Okay. Still looking good. Okay, so here we are. Now, gonna include this guy. We'll take a look at this guy. There you go. This was the little example I had to test things out. The little example server. So we're gonna try this out. So I need to get Fenrir in there. So I'm just gonna go grab Fenrir. Put Fenrir in there. Boom. It should pick that up. Yeah. It should pick this up. That's all we should need is Fenrir. Yeah. This took Visual Studio a while. So we got Fenrir, boom. We can take a look at that. There's the code. We all know that. And then this is my server. So I should be able to run this. Visual Studio is having a panic attack here. And we have a problem. First problem. What's the problem here? Oh, I think I need to include some other stuff, actually. What do we have in here? We have... why do I have IO stream in... Oh, right, because there's some output messages. Are there output messages? Why do I have IO stream in here? A good question. Okay, what's the problem? What's the actual problem here? Link failed to link. Free address info select. This is interesting. I haven't had this error before when I was testing this. Oh, why is it doing this now? Why is this doing this now? And my include directory is there, right? Yeah, we have the include directory. Yes. Okay, what's going on here? We can't link to these WSA startup, WSA, all these things. These are all Windows things, and I can't link to them. Why can't I link to them? This is in WinSock too. Get last error. That's in WinSock too. Again, is it that it's not? Visual Studio does this sometimes where everything's fine. It just doesn't link because... Okay, so we start off with some issues. I just want to test one. Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. So it's in TCP socket accept. So this is all in the TCP socket namespace. Okay, what if I take it out of here and I put it in here? That's what I was doing before. Same issue. Okay, what's going on? This code was working before. It doesn't know how to call get address info or select or whatever. But that's in the Windows. Okay, try doing something here. Get a new project. Project. Test. This is because it's in plus 17. Oh man, what is happening? I don't know what's happening now. This was working without a problem, and now I can't link to any of these things. Okay, scrap this. Just scrap that. Okay, I'll regenerate pre-make. Win32x64. Okay, we call it Win32. Oh, okay. But it really should be called X. Doesn't make a difference. Same errors everywhere. I have a feeling this is Visual Studio just doing something dumb where it doesn't realize what's happening. Often, I found many times, see, it doesn't even know where this is. Yeah, it doesn't even know where this is. Okay, like something like accept. Isn't that like... Yeah, that's in WinSock too. Okay, the only thing I can think of is that I have to link to the library, but I don't have to link to the library. Okay. I don't remember having a link. Ah, maybe I do. Sure that the build variant links to WS232. Oh, okay. I completely forgot about this. I completely forgot that this had to be linked. Completely forgot. There it is. That's my bad. That's my bad. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to close the application. We're going to do things properly. I'm going to move that into the include folder. And actually, I'll include that in here. So, these are, I don't remember the name now. Let me grab that. Let me grab that. Let me take a look here. Links. Links. That in there. So do that. And I'll just do a little test here. Yeah, bridge. Get rid of the intermediates. Get rid of this. I'll have to close the application. All this. Save. Okay. Run pre-make. We get our solution. I could add that file so that it's included. Although technically, oh right, it's looking for something in source, and I don't have that. I'm not following what I'm doing here properly. So we'll move that into source. Delete, regenerate the solution. Remake is nice. It's very, very nice. Now, there you go. We're already in there. Okay. Main is included. Now, if I build, run, boom, we're running. So, there's that. We've got the basics of the bridge application running. Okay, so let's get started. So, how does it work on the front end? On the front end, damn, this is going to be a lot. On the front end, I've got a little test file here that just does that connection again. So we can run this and just test that this does that connection, and it does. And then when I close the application, okay. Okay. So yeah. Let's look at the existing code and run that code. So the existing code is the client stuff here. And there's a lot, but we're only gonna have to change the stuff that has to do with socket IO. So the initial thing is all happening in client. Yeah, the initial thing is actually happening in client. So, right, we initialize the client. So we initialize rendering, we initialize this, we do all this stuff. That's the same. Let me actually do this. Let's let's close this. I don't need this. Is all this stuff. Let's actually get that stuff out of there. So, this is all in here. So in the source we have client code and the common code. We're not going to need server anymore, but we will still need client and common for now. And then that will build, give us our stuff here. Just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this here. Because I need to keep a lot of this stuff for building front end. I'm going to create a branch. Right. Okay. It's going to go on a separate branch. I'll make these changes on this separate branch. So we initialize rendering, we initialize the canvas, we then initialize the lobby and initialize the game, and then we do all of this, and this is where we're using socket.io. So none of this has anything to do with socket.io, right? This is where we start having to change stuff with the socket. So we say modules, client, socket, client module, root path. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know who uses root path. Right, I have to do. Okay. This is the server. So, right, root path. Oh, okay. So we have to get the file. I don't understand why. It's. So this is the bridge index file, HTML file. So here we have socket.io, okay. And the source is bridge socket.io. So we don't need that anymore, right? We can delete that. And then the client code is actually client.js, so we can keep that where that is. So if I refresh this, what's going to happen is well, there's no server running, but I should be able to get the right. Everything's being, there's a lot to change because brief pause. Okay, we're back. Nginx should really just be serving. Nginx should really just be serving. So Nginx should be serving. Yeah, we don't have to do any of this socket.io bullshit. Yeah, we get rid of that. So get rid of that. And we should just provide the index file, because right now that file is actually, the server's actually providing that file. What the fuck, man? Right, so this is the server that we have right now. It's not very complicated. This is the server, and what it's doing is we got to use Express, and we got to have socket.io, and we got to do all this bullshit. And I don't remember why I did it this way, but I'm actually, the server's actually responding with the index.html file. Instead, we can just have Nginx provide this file. So if it's bridged, then we forward it to 46615, right? How do I... root file. So Nginx right now doesn't provide files as accessible. I make them all accessible through here. Right, I'm setting this as static, right? So the public folder is what's actually static. So what we want is, if it's bridge, proxy to this port, which is where my C++ server is going to be running. If I say bridge, is it like this? Am I doing this right? Anything else? Try files, URI, Images default GIF. Right. Try files, URI, and then 404 if it's not found. I don't recall how this. So try files URI. That's if it doesn't. This 404. But the URI has to be. So let's say you say bridge/index.html. Then that should be. I don't really need this guy. It should be public. It should be this, right? So if the URI is index.html, then is it that? Can we do this? The try object can be used to check whether the specified file directory exists. If it does, or returns a specified status code if it doesn't. Forgot to check the file command request URI. Use the try file directory and URI variable as follows. File specified in the form of the URI is processed using the root or alias directive set in the location version. Actually, let's just try something. Let's just try. Did that actually kill it? I believe so. So 8081 bridge test. Bridge test. Not found. 81 tab. This is a GET request. There is no such GET request. The thing is, if you just say bridge, it's gonna proxy to this server. So it's never gonna give you that file. it doesn't work this way. I don't know how to do this. I haven't done this. I haven't done Nginx stuff for a while. Because I want to be able to just say bridge, and it takes you. It provides. This is a GET request bridge, so it's going to proxy to that. Okay, well, if I do this, I'm saying get and file. How do you? I've never done that actually. So if this, it's proxying to this port. If it's an actual file, how do you serve an actual file? Right, I know you can set just the root and the root directory, but there's a root per. I have different servers here. Kind of a. I haven't even gotten to C++ yet. We're stuck on Nginx stuff here. Right, okay, I think this is what I want to do then. So let's just set the root. So let's set the root to be... The root should be this. set the root to be this location. So the root is this location. It's public, right? And then index is. I don't know if we do this. I can't stop Nginx? Kind of weird. Oh wait, no, I this needs to be inside of the server. Bridge. This is really annoying. Is it because here? I'm gonna comment this out. You know what? I'm gonna comment this whole thing out. Let's not even have that. Let's have this. Right, so right there, I try to go to bridge, so it redirects it. Now it's not doing it. Not found. So the root, I think what that means though is this. Right, so there you go. Now it works, right? So I've set the root to be here. Bridge public. Let's try something now. So now if you say this, you can say alias is this. You can set an alias. So I can come in and say here, I can say alias and set my alias to be that. So index, so that. I'm setting this, and I could say the root. Do I need to set the root? I don't really need to set the root in this case, do I? If I say bridge, oh man. It shouldn't be picking that up anymore. That's not right. It should. So our root is here, whatever, and then I can just set an alias so different ones can have different ones. I know I'm probably not doing this right. I can figure. Wait a minute, it doesn't need to do that though. It's a server. When you say bridge, it should just serve you the index.html file. And then if you say bridge anything else, those functions should proxy. I need to find out how to do that. Root directive specifies the root directive to be used to search for a file, right? Obtain the path of the requested file. Nginx appends the request URI to the path specified by the root directive. So, if I set the root to be public, then if I say, that's the thing, I should just be able to say index.html. Yeah, and it does work. Now, how come it doesn't work for bridge? Well, for bridge, I've set an alias to be bridge build public. Okay. The directive can be the location. But they have the root specified here. The directive can be placed on any level within the HTTP server or location context. Oh, in the example below, the root directive defines... Wait a minute. So if I say... I say index. So if I say bridge index.html, why isn't that working? Location bridge. Okay, so you set the root, then you can set the root like this. I need to do this. Slashes sometimes do matter. Noticed that. Okay. Search for URI that starts with images in the images directory in the file system. Right. It's gonna be that data, and then it'll go images. So, oh, that's the thing. So, that's why I think what we need to do is the root should be c dev till server. Right. So it will append the URI to that. In the URI, you're going to say bridge anything. So it will look for cdev till server bridge, but then we want it to look in build well, we set the root to be this, so shouldn't you be able to technically look for, so in the root is till server, and then whatever you want images. Nginx searches for a URI that starts with images in the data images. Right, it'll be www data images for that. And for mine, that's correct. We want till server bridge. But then we want no, till server. We want bridge build public that. For the URI that starts with images. But if the URI ends with .mp3 or .mp4, instead searches for the file in that. So I don't know what the tilde means. If the request ends with a slash, Nginx treats it as a request for a directory. Tries to find an index file in the directory. The index directive defines the index file's name. The default value is index.html. If the request URI is images some path, Nginx delivers the file www data images some path index.html if it exists. So if I say bridge build public, shouldn't that give the index? cdev till server bridge build public and index.html. Shouldn't it do that? I'm confused. Why isn't this? Yeah, but it's not doing that. It doesn't return 404 not found. Well, okay, it is. 404 not found by default. Okay. To configure it to return an automatically generated directory listing instead, include the on parameter in the auto index directive. So auto index on. Let's try doing that. Auto index on. I don't know what's going on here. You can say index and the name of the file. What if I try saying index.html? So location there. So root is data, and then the index is. What I could do is just say, if you're going to the bridge folder, look to the build public folder as that's the public location. I think I could do this then, can't I? Root. Here, if the URI in a request is path and data path index does not exist, so data path, so it will look for data, so this matches this, so it'd go in here. The root is data, so it'd be data path and then index.html. So bridge should then be root till server bridge well, you said bridge, so bridge matches this, so the root is cdev till server, and then you have bridge, so it'll put bridge there. Man, I'm confused. I don't get why this isn't working. Good. Try files, URI, images, default.gif. So if it doesn't find it, then it will do that. The file is specified in the foreign URI, which is processed using the root or alias directive set in the context of the current location. Data, images, default. Oh, in the next, if neither the original URI nor the URI with the appended trailing slash resolved into an existing file or directory, the request is redirected to the named location, which passes it to a proxied server. So this you could just proxy it that way. Okay, but I can't even get to the file. So my root is cdev till server, and then the location is bridge. So you should be able to say bridge should then look up cdev till server bridge. It just doesn't make any sense. doesn't make any sense. I should look at the logs. If I say bridge build public, what that should do is it should resolve to this one, bridge. So it should be cdev Tyler till server bridge build public, and then it should go to index.html. But it doesn't. Let's take a look at the errors in Nginx then. So right, so get bridge build public. Okay. So cdev till server bridge build public, and then it's looking again, bridge build public failed. What? Why is it doing that? So bridge build public, it's looking for, it's doing bridge build public. Bridge build public. Yeah, this isn't gonna find the path specified. So get bridge build public. So it should go to C dev till server. Like, what's in till server that I can access? Let's look at the git ignore. So if I just do dot git ignore, that doesn't work. What about ecosystem.config? Yeah, that doesn't work. Because it's looking at cdev. Wait a minute, I don't think it actually terminated Nginx because it's still looking for bridge. Build public, it's looking in there. But then, right, which is why if I say index.html, now it's picking up this file. Why is it? I think Nginx is still running. Is it stop or kill? Nginx is stopped. Okay, that's the problem. Nginx is still running. Yeah, that's the problem. Nginx is still running. Okay, now I need to kill. Nginx here. Now if I try, it doesn't work. If I say start Nginx, starts Nginx up. Now this doesn't work, but if I say bridge build public, okay, that works now. So bridge build public, that's great. Now the problem is I don't want to have to say build public. I just want to be able to say bridge. If I look up bridge, it doesn't get me anything. So if I just say bridge, well, the root is here. It's going to look up bridge and then index.html. If I change the root, Wait a minute, I think it's just serving files because I have a separate connection, and that connection is directly made with the TCP socket. It's not going through Nginx. That's a good question. No, I don't think it is going through Nginx anymore. Yeah, it's not going through Nginx anymore. Well, the handshake does. The handshake will go to a URL. The handshake will go to a URL. Let's just worry about static files for now, then. So how do we do this? So that's the root, and then when we say bridge, the index file is the URI, which is cdev. So you'll how do I do this? What I want to say is, when I say bridge, go to cdev till server bridge, and then look in a different folder for the. What does alias do? Set in the file specified in the form of the URI, which is processed using the root or alias directive. Oh, so you can try a file, and if it can't find it, then okay. Now this URI is like I think it's gonna be. So this is gonna try to get a file, and if not, it's gonna do that. Yeah, getting Nginx to allow this TC tricky. And I just realized another thing in terms of firewall. That's gonna be how do you do that? If a request ends with a slash, Nginx treats it as a request for a directory and tries to find an index file in the directory. The index directive defines the index file's name. So this just specifies a different root folder. Oh, so is it just bridge instead? So if it's bridge, then the root folder isn't that. When you say bridge, then the root folder is going to dev serve. What does alias do? I'm gonna try this. cdev till server bridge build public. Did Nginx actually stop? Yes, I believe it did. You say bridge. Why is that? What's going on now? So it's looking for cdev bridge build public bridge index.html. Not found. Index search for index in different folder. The problem is that, so you say bridge, so it's going to look in this bridge, but I actually want to look in a different folder. But then if I say this is the folder, then it's going to look in cdev to this. I actually want to say it's in a different folder. Because I don't think I can just do something as simple as this, right? Index build public index.html. I don't think I can do that. Now I was looking for cdev till build public. Oh, it is. Okay, so when you say index, it's going to be relative to, so cdev till server, it's not looking in bridge, it's actually doing that. So if you say bridge, it's going to be relative to the root, not relative to that. That's, yeah, that's okay. So if we do this, that's still not working. It's looking in index is bridge build public. There you go. Now when you say bridge, it will go to the bridge index.html. Alright, it'll take you to bridge index.html. Okay, so there's our root. And then here we say this is the index file for bridge. Okay, so we have that. So we're taking the right index file now. An index file we've already modified. Here's our index file. Now, what's the problem? Well, there's a problem now because it's looking for bridge style.css, JS. So the problem with that is that so bridge JS client, that it's trying to look for this file, and we said if it's bridge, if it's, this is just a bridge folder, then it will do that. And I still have need a better solution than that. Index, location, search URI in different folder. Because the problem is that it's looking for like bridge style.css, but when it comes in here, where's style.css there? It's looking for bridge and then that, whatever the thing is. Why is that? Because we said location, the index file is here, but it's still gonna look at this bridge and then the URI. So again, it's not alias. Oh, we're going back to alias. I've got to confirm. I don't trust that this actually stops now. Okay. Start it. Bridge. Doesn't give us anything. It's looking for C, bridge build public. Right, okay. So the alias is C, dev till server. That's nice. So you can just say alias is that. So it's gonna, so anything, if you look for bridge, it's gonna look for whatever it is in this folder instead. So it'll be that is your root folder, and then we'll attach everything after it, not including the bridge stuff though, I believe. Let's stop it. Yeah, again, I'm probably not even stopping that right. I don't remember how to do that. Okay, so when you say bridge, okay, when you say bridge, we get to here, we have all of this, we've got this, and it failed to load a module, but otherwise we actually fetched everything correctly. So if you say bridge, anything like bridge style.css, it's going to give you all that. And if you say nothing, it's going to look for the index file by default. So that we got that working. Oh man, all that just to say alias this. Yeah, so can I not have a root? Can I just not have a root and then just start Nginx? It appears you can. Oh, bridge. So now if I look in the root for here for like ecosystem.config, I believe it is. Yeah, it doesn't find that. That's in the root. Ecosystem, because I don't want this to the root. Okay, So all we have to do is alias this. So this is the directory, and it's going to do that. Here's another question. Do I need the slash? Do I actually need the slash at the end of it there? Bridge. I don't need the slash. I don't need the slash. Everything's there. All the icons are there. We're good to go. I don't need the slash. That's all we need to do. Basically like an hour just for this. Okay, so what's next? We've got that. We have all the files. We have the index file. So what's going on now? If we go back to the index file, this is our index file. So we're getting our style CSS, and then this isn't working. For some reason, it's looking for bridge.js, client.js, and that's not working. Or is it? Well, no, it's not that it's not working. Failed to load module script. Expected a JavaScript module script, but the server responded with a MIME type of explain. Yeah. That's interesting. Icons aren't working. Okay. I'm not sure why that's not functioning properly, but let's go to client. This is client code that will need to be changed. So what we do is, it's not even running client code, is it? Expected a JavaScript module script, but the server responded with a MIME type of text plain. Do I see that in the access? Somebody's calling images, icon, Android, Chrome. Someone's looking for all this stuff. I don't know why it's doing that, but that icon's not there. Oh, big deal. I think that's the icon here. So we have our, this is the JavaScript code. Okay. It's interpreting it as I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, but the thing is, in index.html, we're looking for... Oh, I said type module. Is that why? So it fetches that, the back, and then it retrieves that, and we do get that file. Yeah, it just keeps trying to do that. forbidden? Why forbidden? What is happening? I don't get why there's two Nginx. Also, Node.js shouldn't be running anymore. Okay, it's not running. Nginx. Forbidden. I didn't change anything. What's the error? Why is the directory forbidden? So style.css, but then index.html. Oh, it's the index.html that's forbidden. Is it because I have it open there? But it's JavaScript though. I don't know what's going on. Man, didn't even get to C++ today. I knew this was going to be a whole debacle, but I didn't think I'd get stuck with engine right off the bat. So everything's good to go. We just can't access the index. We have a JavaScript folder. We have code there. And then when that comes back, for some reason the browser doesn't see that as JavaScript, which is weird to me. And then we're loading it as a module. I don't know why. This is weird. I can access files in there. Public, so if you say JavaScript client.js, I think, okay, I don't think this is actually working. I think this is just cached. cached. Not found. Not forbidden. Not found. Bridge build public. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I think you do need a slash at the back. I think you do need a slash there. Why is Node.js running? Not even. Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay, so we have this. We're loading the index page and we're not using socket.js or socket.io anymore. These problems I don't think are a big deal. This is a problem. Expected a JavaScript module script, but the server responded with a MIME type of text plain. Strict. Well, I don't even have MIME types in there. Yeah, it should work out of the box. They had named the JavaScript module file as JS instead of MJS. Oh, let's take a look at that. Client JS. Yeah. I just do this and then I just write it out as client.mjs. Yeah, client.mjs. That doesn't work. I think it's because it sees it as a JavaScript it's a JavaScript module. Expected a JavaScript module script. Well, it's not even giving us JavaScript. It'd be nice to just give us JavaScript, eh? I think I might get rid of this whole module stuff anyway. Let's go to client. This whole module stuff is kind of pissing me off anyway. So let IO. Let's get rid of that. So we have IO. It's a path. I don't need that anymore. So we say IO and it gives you a socket, right? And we connect to that, and that socket is this IO socket. And we set our callbacks, and that's it, right? So we connect the socket on disconnect, on error, and then on packet. What we have here. So if we open up, I know this is small, but if we open up in Bridge, I've got this guy here with an example of how we do this. And if we just replace this here with this WebSocket, it's this, and let's say we say localhost, boom, and then the path is just going to be that. I actually don't need a path. I say 8081. Yeah, I actually don't need a path. I'm just curious what happens. Oh, it has to run the right port too. 46615 port. 46615. Connection to failed. So I did try to run this. So I tried to connect and it failed. Right, it would, wouldn't it? Because it has to go to this bridge, I think. And I think it will still fail. Yeah, because we need to now have this. So set your alias to be here. I think we can say try files, whatever the URI is. And then bridge API. This was in the Nginx static content. And an example here, back end, right? And then they proxy passed it in there, right? Bridge back end. No. Location. Bridge back end. And so it will proxy pass to there. I think this broke everything. Yeah, try files, URI, and if there isn't anything, bridge backend. Location bridge backend. Just this. So if you say bridge, it'll come in. Try files. Is it because... Still haven't connected yet. I don't even think Nginx is even running. Yeah, Proc can have a URI part. Proxy pass cannot have URI part in location given by regular expression, or inside named location, or inside if statement, or inside limit exception. Line 31? I don't get... I don't see what the problem is. Proxy pass cannot have URI part in location, even by regular expression. Oh. I think it thinks this is a regular expression. Do I have to actually say backend? No, I don't have to say backend. I think that just happened now. Yeah, same problem. Is it like my version is old or something? Why is that seemingly allowed, but... So we still haven't. I still haven't figured out all the problems here with my Nginx. I still don't have that configuration working properly. Then once we get this working, so now I'm just testing that we can actually connect. But now I have another problem where for some reason this module doesn't even get seen as JavaScript. Does it see it as JavaScript or JavaScript module? So man, I hate working with JavaScript. Okay, what are we at now? Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it at this point, and then I'll continue this later. Yeah, I think we'll continue next time. Um, yes. Yep, I continue next time. Alright, okay. This looks like it's the problem. Right. Should work. Oh, it's something to do with the URI, is that what it is? So any file is going to look for it in here. What if I just do this then? What if I get rid of this and we get rid of this and we just do this? What happens there? Okay, this works. It does this. But then website connection to this bridge failed. Well, I'm not actually running the server, so that's one. It fails. Now when we do bridge, what does it do? It should come in here. Oh. Okay, it lets me do this. So again, all this. Hey. Okay. Bytes received. Boom. So it's working. We're connecting, and if I kill this, it's probably not going to say anything. Yeah, now it failed. Okay, that seems to be working. So all files will go here. It's a static folder, and then actual API calls are going to go here. That seems to be working. That's pretty good. Okay, now we need to sort out the issue with this problem where the JavaScript module's not it's not picking it up as so I'm gonna move this over here. This will be bridge. That's basically what we're gonna be doing, right? Socket is equal to creating a socket here. But we can't even get to this stage because I kill this. Man, I should have done a build command. I think I only have start command. Note, it hasn't updated the code. Hasn't updated the code. Why hasn't it updated the code? This is update. Why is the code not updated? JS client.js. Yeah, this code is still not updated. I think it's because the cache. All right, so we've got the HTML file being served by Nginx, and now we can actually connect to the WebSocket. That's actually working. Now I need to get the JavaScript on the front end working. So that's gonna be next time. Yes.